welcome to Win Me the Lottery. I can't believe it, Chris. We're on episode 10.
Episode 10, fantastic.
You know, I never thought we'd get this far, Chris. 10. You know, it's such a significant number because it's double digits, and we love double digits, don't we?
We just wish the jackpot would go double digits again, Tony, but the only reason we're still here, we didn't think we'd make it this far, but our inbox, we've got 5,126 emails unread at the moment in the Win Me the Lottery email inbox. The mailbag is bulging, Tony.
And not all of them are actually asking for money, right? They're not bills.
Not all of them. Most of them are promotional spam, but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah, hopefully one of them would be like, you've won the lottery, Chris. Or Tony.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Eventually, you know, it's definitely coming. I think it's... maybe it's already in there. We just haven't, you know, we need to sift through all that email.
Yeah.
But first of all, Chris, I mean, I love the shirt that you're wearing.
Thank you.
You know, black, it works for everyone, I think. I think everyone
Especially
looks really
me.
Yeah, no, you look good, very suave. But have you ironed your shirt today, Chris?
I haven't, Tony, because what happened is I bought this brand new yesterday, and that's normally what I do every week. I just buy a new shirt so that I never have to iron.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. I mean, yeah, not everyone loves ironing.
Not everyone loves that, and you've probably noticed that I'm quite fashionable, so that's, I'm always keeping that up.
Very nice, yeah. No, what would you call that material, actually? It looks relatively easy.
You know what? I wondered what it was, and it actually says on the label 100% cotton. So, yeah, but it's quite a fantastic number.
Okay, brilliant.
But yeah, definitely not a big fan of ironing. What about food? Are you making your dinner tonight, Tony?
I actually don't know what I'm having for dinner. It's usually something that I don't really think about. I kind of just...
It's usually prezzo, isn't it?
It's prezzo. I mean, that's on a good day. But on a bad day, I kind of have to kind of sift through, I don't know, your typical kind of Sainsbury's and go, what am I going to eat? You know, what are the ingredients?
Corned beef, spam, that kind of thing.
I mean,
canned goods.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, I've been getting into carbonara quite often. So
Nice.
It's quite something quite... It can be seen fancy, but it's quite simple to make, really. And I'm not talking about the carbonara the way it's that heavy cheese cream sauce. You know, carbonara is made with just like egg,
pure
really.
egg.
I use pancetta, but there's actually a cut of meat. I can't remember what it's called. That is more original. It's quite fatty, the fatty pork.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
But very simple. But yeah, it sometimes is a bit of a chore to actually think of what I'm going to have to do.
You know we love pork on this podcast, Tony, whether
Yeah.
it be for food or even a pig's heart that we talked about the other day, which apparently is a suitable heart replacement if you only want to live for another month.
Yeah, we also talked that humans probably taste like pork, as we kind of
did.
I genuinely believe that.
Yeah. But you know what I'm thinking? Ironing, we're not a big fan of ironing. Okay, you're a budding chef. But wouldn't it be good to have somebody do all of that for you, Tony?
Well, like a good husband.
Like a good husband, yeah. But what I'm kind of getting at here, I don't know if you'd pay for a good husband, Tony. Or...
Probably not. But I'm not against for those who do pay.
What I'm thinking is, wouldn't it be great to have hired staff who you can get in and do all of this for you, whether it be a husband, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But certainly hired staff. If we won the lottery, which we will one day, I think that's going to be our topic of the week this week. What hired staff would we want to bring in just to make our lives a little bit easier?
I mean, I think that is a big fantasy that everyone has. I'm not talking about hiring the maid type of fantasy. No, I'm talking about like a fantasy of the luxury of coming home and not having to do the typical chores that you kind of have to do. So we touched on ironing and dinner, like someone making food for you. I mean, you could order a takeaway, but if you want someone stuff it specifically, they don't have a takeaway.
I don't need a takeaway every day.
Yeah.
I want something healthy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say to my hired chef, look, Russell, we had somebody email in the other week who wanted a sushi chef.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Imagine that. You come home and they've just got fresh sushi on the table waiting for you.
You know what, Isaac, have you seen Breaking Bad?
Absolutely, I have.
Do you know that, obviously the bad guy, what was his name again? Gus Fring.
Oh, yeah.
And you make that stew for whenever they come to visit the house.
Right,
and when you pick out that recipe, you go, I want that. Can you make that for me?
Just make that every single time.
Yeah, or any dish that you can't really get on like a takeaway.
Did Gus ever eat his own chicken from his chicken shop? Or was it Los Polos?
Los Polos
Hermanos. Yeah, the Chicken Brothers.
That is true. I mean, it looked pretty good. I've never seen him eat it. Yeah.
I wanted to go and visit that place. Do you think there's somewhere that's like a replica of it? It's not real, but I bet there is somewhere.
I reckon there would be.
That'd be good.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this topic a week later because when I talk about, this is what I fantasize about. Like, oh yeah, I get someone to clean the house. That'd be great. Not having to worry about that. Someone to, I don't know, pick up some deliveries. In fact, doing all that little stuff.
It's different strokes for different folks. Yeah. Some people have different fantasies. It's quite reassuring in a way to hear that your fantasies are just around somebody helping you with housework because we've explored Epstein on the show before and people like that, and he certainly had darker fantasies. But yeah, that's going to be our topic of the week, Tony, which will be the second segment. Of course, our third segment, as always, will be picking next week's numbers.
Yeah.
But to start with, let's go through the numbers from this Saturday's Lotto draw and find out, are we winners?
So, yeah, I mean, the jackpot this week was a nice 7.1 million.
That's good. That's decent.
But what were the winning numbers? So it was 12, 26, 28, 34, 41, 42, and the bonus ball was 32. Machine name was Arthur and ball set 8. So what were my numbers from last week? So it was 3, 6, 10, 19, 24 and 25. And sadly, Chris, no matches.
Not a single one.
0. So
this is just getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous now. It's rigged. I reckon they listen to this podcast and they know it's so successful, this podcast, and it's bringing more users in for the lottery, and they're rigging it so that we can't win.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's rolled over, so that's a good thing.
Okay, so nobody else won?
No, nobody else won.
Okay, I'm happy again. I'm happy again. As I say every week, if we don't win, as long as nobody else wins, I'm happy. So it's going to roll over for this Wednesday.
It's going to roll over.
And hopefully again, so that next week we're looking at a juicy jackpot in the...
hopefully it'll be like...
double figures millions.
Episode 10, it could be... When episode 11, it could be 11 million. Who knows?
Oh,
that'll be a nice little kind of...
Yeah, just after Remembrance Day as well, 11th of the 11th. So.
There we go. I mean, it's all coming together. We're manifesting it to this...
Absolutely. That's
this ideal lottery win. But one thing I just wanted to share before we kind of move on was... I was playing a lottery. Obviously, I have the Lotto app on my phone.
Okay.
And it had a little quite interesting notification that came up, and it was actually an interesting kind of insight or stat that was shared by the National Lottery, the official National Lottery app. And it said, do you know the most common profession of past National Lottery wins?
It's got to be a manual labour job.
Well, you're right on the nose there.
Really?
Almost. Yeah. It's actually... people who work in building and construction are the most common. It's the most common profession.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
What makes you say that?
Well, I can just imagine. Sometimes you go down the corner shop or Sainsbury's, Tesco, whatever, and you often see the builders in there. They've got their pepperami stick or their Rustler's burger, and they're always going to get a lottery ticket with it, aren't they?
Yeah, Pepperami Barmy Army. I love that advert, that little kind of crazy little pepperami stick. But yeah, I think that's a common occurrence I've seen. Usually, building, roadworks and building sites are quite close to newsagents, and they need a break. They need kind of, to refreshment. So, Lucozade, a cheeky lottery ticket.
It would be Lucozade, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
You see them in there a lot. And why not?
Yeah.
Why not? They'd probably get a pack of 20 Benson & Hedges as well, blue. I think that's the cheapest pack of cigarettes.
Actually, one of the things that does remind me of builders and roadworks is that they seem to eat quite unhealthily, but obviously because they do such heavy work that they look quite quite fit. So I couldn't get away with eating a full English every morning. We do love a full English, but I don't think I could pack one a day every day. I'll be putting on a lot of weight, but I'm not lifting bricks or tar or whatever.
Bricks, doing that all day. So normally they'll go to the local cafe for their full English breakfast, maybe a coffee or a tea, maybe builder's tea. 5 sugars, lots of
2 sugars
milk. Yeah. And then for lunch, probably your packaged sandwich with your pepperoni stick, a Rustler's, A bag of crisps. What crisps do you think they get?
I mean, you've got to stick with the Walkers, I think.
Yeah, just Walkers ready salted.
Or Mackie D's, you know. I'm not. You know, when I walk to Mackie D's, I see, you know, a guy in a kind of high-vis shirt and the old helmet. Big Mac, you know, it's pretty standard.
And to be fair, we're very keen on safety as well.
Yeah.
I think you often actually wear a high-vis jacket when you're out and about, don't you?
If there's an opportunity where I need to kind of coordinate people, or I'm in a park or something, I feel like I bought this on Amazon for a reason, and it makes, you know, what type of gathering you have looks a bit more professional.
Right, so you're saying that you just go into parks with a high-vis jacket so that you can get people to do what you want?
No, this is more kind of work events.
What kind of park?
Yeah. Oh, okay, seriously.
I've got you out here.
But there are funny videos of people actually doing that, aren't they? They put on the high-vis jacket and trying to get into kind of places. They carry a ladder and
I would
people question
love
that.
to do it.
Yeah.
We should do it. We should do something like that. Put it on YouTube.
Yeah. But I think there's actually, I believe there's a subreddit called Act Like You Belong. And they do that type of stuff.
Should we do it? We need to find. We'll talk about this after the show. You'll find it on YouTube in a few weeks.
I mean, it could be an interesting YouTube video, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we didn't win the 7.1 million. It is rolling over. So fingers crossed for an even bigger jackpot come next Saturday.
It has to get bigger. It just has to, Tony. It's got to get into those double-figure millions. But
talk about things getting bigger. Didn't we have an interesting
we
email?
did. As I say, 5,000, now 5,128. I think it's gone up since the start of the show. Emails in our bulging mailbag for us to handle and sift through. But we had one really good one this week from Paula, and Paula's in Brazil. And she used an acronym I didn't actually know, I have to admit, which is BBL. I do know a few other acronyms with BB, but BBL I hadn't heard of. And this is apparently a Brazilian butt lift. So Paula said if she won the lottery, first thing she'd do, Brazilian butt lift, and she is actually in Brazil. And just to let our listeners know, and I'm sure many of them know already, this is a surgery where a doctor transfers fat from your belly, hips, lower back or thighs to your buttocks. The result is more of an hourglass-shaped figure with larger buttocks. So kind of Kim Kardashian kind of thing, maybe. And I guess that takes the fat away from somewhere you don't want and puts it somewhere that potentially you do want. But Tony, is that something you think you'd consider if you were a winner? You said you were looking for a good husband down here, so...
Well, I think I've got quite enough cake going on, but like...
You have got one hell of an arse.
Well, thank you, Chris. You know, I appreciate the comment. And it's something that, you're not the first person to compliment me on that. So I'm beginning to think that, hey,
today, just today.
Well, just in general. I don't know. I don't like it when it goes to the extremes, I would say, Chris. When it goes too big. And I don't know, from what I've read, the very limited things that I have read about it, is that, it can be quite painful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to go through it. And I've seen some, I think some backstreet type of surgeries, they end up injecting all types of things in their butt just to make it bigger. I mean, if you don't go through those legitimate, surgeries to get it done properly. I've heard stuff on the, I don't know if it's sensationalized articles like oil or like cement and stuff. I don't know if that's
Tony,
real.
Your palate, she's saying if she won the lottery.
Yeah.
So she's going to go legit. She's going to get this done. And wasn't it Kim Kardashian? Did she balance a bottle of champagne on her buttocks or something like that?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. Or whatever, what's her name?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not natural, is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know. We better ask her. She's probably listening. Nikki, let us know.
I'm sure it's worth it. No, didn't Kim Kardashian insure her butt or something?
She did, yeah.
Oh, incredible. But yeah, okay, that's fair enough. If you win the lottery and that's what you want to do, power to you.
And guys, keep emailing us in. We're slowly but surely making our way through this bulging mailbox, and we're just picking the odd one out. Paola from Brazil, we love that.
Yeah. And obviously we always promote be safe.
Yes.
Always follow the right precautions and choose a legitimate surgery with, a good, background reviews of surgeries being done successfully, check their kind of credentials, who's doing it, and really have a few sessions of consultation just to make sure this is what you really want to do.
And I would say before you even embark on this journey, call the non-emergency NHS number, which is that 111.
Yeah.
Call that up and just consult with them first.
Yeah.
Find out what the risks are.
Yeah.
Weigh them against the benefits.
Yeah.
Do it with a regulated place.
Yeah. And even better, if you actually know someone who's gone through the surgery, maybe have a chat with them. I'm sure they'd be more than happy just to let you know how the process is.
Just DM Kim Kardashian on Instagram. I've done it a few times. She always gets back to me. So
right.
Yeah, I'd just go for that.
Okay, brilliant. No better than to hear it straight from the person who's gone through it, right?
Straight from the horse's mouth. Absolutely.
Definitely. So I guess we can move on to our segment 2, which is Topic of the Week. So what is it?
Topic of the Week, which is, as we mentioned earlier, who would you hire when you were rich? Who would be your hired help? And we've sort of touched on this, haven't we, Tony, already? You want somebody cooking your dinner. You want somebody ironing your shirt. What else are you thinking?
If I was, I'm thinking a bit kind of...
outside the box.
Outside the box.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'll hire this person full time, but if 7.1 million, or if I had even more than that, why not hire a hype man?
A hype man.
Yeah, and some hip hop artists will have that guy with another mic who's just kind of repeating certain words in the song, but like just hyping it up. Why wouldn't you have someone that is just hyping you up from your daily life? So,
like, if you got an example, let's say you're going out for lunch or something.
So, say if I was going to have lunch at the Ivy with my girlfriend, and I'll maybe I have a selection of shirts that I might have bought, and I could be like, I was going to wear this one because it's Monday, and I said to myself in my notes that I would wear this shirt on Monday, and I'm like, I might get a bit self-conscious. I go, I'm not sure if this shirt looks good for the lunch. I'm having second thoughts.
This is the Ivy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is this the original Ivy or one of those rubbishy bland chain replicas?
It's got to be the original.
The original and the best.
I've never been to the original one. So I might go to this hype man who's just been there in my room watching me. Actually, he won't be watching me get changed.
That'd be weird.
Well, actually, if I... No, I wouldn't watch him if I'm naked. But I'll go like, what do you think of this shirt? And I want him to go, Tony, that looks freaking amazing. You look so amazing today. And it really big me up.
I like it.
So any type of kind of, when I feel self-conscious about anything, like I'm not sure if Arsenal will win today. And he'd be like, Arsenal are actually going to destroy Newcastle. So it's that type of thing. It's almost like therapy. You can even class it as therapy in that sense.
So let's say you sat down to eat your lunch at the Ivy, you and the missus.
Yeah.
And you pick up that croquette with your fork.
Yeah.
And he just bellows over this. Oh, I freaking love the way you're handling that croquette.
What you said?
Something like that.
What you think he's going to be?
He's going to be sat there.
Shout on the table for 3, please. Not table for 2.
But he or she isn't eating.
Yeah.
And then they just shout over the table. Oh, the way you just had that croquette, baby.
Yeah. Well, it's like, this person could be, if I had a few drinks in the Ivy, and maybe another kind of wealthy person gives me the wrong look, and I kind of lose it for whatever reason. I have quite a short fuse, and I might want to get into a physical altercation with this other wealthy person. This hype man can also hold me back. So when
is he going to be, or he or she?
Yeah.
Are they going to be like a big?
Well, it really
bouncer
depends.
Style, physique.
Possibly. You want someone with energy and maybe intimidating presence. But in general, it's all about the hype. You want to keep it positive, but they can kind of serve that purpose. But I'm almost moving into the territory of my next hire. It could be security.
Well, that could be almost like a 2-in-1 then.
Yeah.
If it's bouncer style.
That's a great... You could save money there. You go, you're a hype man as part of your description, but you also... Because you're not always going to be in danger, right? So they want to be doing something in between that. It could get a bit boring if you're just looking around and making sure that, you're safe. And then it'd be like, I can actually enjoy myself just hyping you up. So, I mean, security was a bit of an afterthought because I don't know if I would really need security because I'm not famous yet.
Tony, the thing is... And we're going to touch on this later in the episode. It depends on whether you go public.
Okay.
So, if we were to win the lottery, unfortunately, we're not going to have any choice when we win it. Because everybody who's listening to this podcast, which is racking into the millions, isn't it? That's what you keep telling me anyway. Everyone is going to know.
Yeah.
So you probably will need security in that case.
It might be actually a requirement, really. But apart from height and security, I'm going through the typical butler would be quite nice because the reason why I say butler because they would do cleaning, they would do cooking.
So that is a bit of an all-in-one there.
And the reason I say they do those two things because doesn't Alfred in Batman do all that stuff as well? And it would be quite nice to have an
Michael
Alfred.
Caine. Is it Michael Caine?
Yeah, or the one from Batman, the cartoon, or the new Alfred in the new kind of the Twilight Batman.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's the one with Robert Pattinson. I actually do quite a good impression of it.
Okay.
There's a bit when he goes, "I'm vengeance."
That is very good.
Yeah, he goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm vengeance." I thought that was quite good.
That is brilliant.
But yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have an Alfred that knows all your secrets and he helps you dress and he's worried about you going at night, stuff like that?
It's just like you're all in one.
Yeah.
To be honest, AI is going to solve this soon anyway. You have an AI robot who can just do all of this for you. But yeah,
you're thinking of Iron Man. Who's the person that? What's his name again? The actual AI that does it for him.
I can't remember. The only AI movie I really know is the one where he falls in love with his AI assistant.
It's going to come back to me, but basically, Tony Stark has an AI that within the suit. But yeah, those are kind of the main kind of three kind of hires that I would probably look at. Maybe a private investigator just to get dirt on you, maybe Chris.
Oh
just
yeah,
for fun.
Especially if we split this jackpot.
Yeah.
Dig up some dirt and make him hand over the rest.
But then I was actually exploring online of what other kind of crazy jobs are out there that super rich people actually kind of employ people to do. And there's two that kind of stood out. So one that I read on Reddit, and this is a while back. And if I was to say to you, Chris, that there are kind of billionaires, right, in this world.
Zuckerberg, we've spoken about him, yeah.
Or even close to billionaire, like hundreds of millions, and they've probably acquired their wealth through quite dodgy means. So I'm thinking kind of drug kingpin or something. And
maybe.
You know those movies where they've got those massive yachts and then they've got all these kind of beautiful bikini ladies are just kind of fawning over all these kind of drug dealers and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, I read online, I can't remember what Reddit thread this was on, and this guy actually said that his job, or he knew of a job, or he actually did it, where his job was to kind of coordinate all these hot women, take them onto the yacht,
right?
Kind of brief them with what they need to do.
Drug kingpin or whatever.
Yeah, for the guy, for the party that's there, and made sure that everything's fine, coordinate all that stuff. Obviously, these kind of women would enjoy the drink that's there and maybe the
few margaritas, maybe a bit of champagne. Drugs, we cannot comment.
Can't comment
because that would be illegal.
But they're intoxicated, so the morning after, you might find a load of these kind of beautiful women kind of really drunk or hungover or just sprawling out on the yacht. His job was just kind of escort them off the boat and make sure they're all right so they get home. And then
that's nice.
Bring in the next wave of women.
Oh my God.
So,
oh my God.
I can imagine that being a real thing because if that is a real fantasy that you're a billionaire, you can make it happen. You need someone to coordinate all that, to manage all that. The second job that really stuck out was actually.
And by the way, we don't endorse either.
No. I
have to say that up front.
Yeah, I mean that's a terrible job if you ask me. I would never do that. But yeah, might be one of your favorite rappers, Snoop Dogg. Do you like?
Oh, I thought you can say Tupac.
Tupac.
No, Snoop Dogg. I like him as well. The thing about Snoop Dogg is we know he's still alive.
Yeah.
Tupac, we're not sure. But anyway, I'll let you carry on.
The thing I love about Snoop Dogg is that it's quite well known now because it's online that he actually employs someone full time whose job is to roll blunts for him. Imagine that. That's your whole job is to literally roll these blunts like weeks.
This guy is so good as
well. They have to be really good at their job.
Proper professional roller.
It's all tight. It's probably different shapes and different kind of... I think there's one that
looks like a machine gun. You can do like, when they do the balloon?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. They're that expert.
You're joking.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's brilliant. That's amazing.
Hey, if there's a requirement, you've got the money, you pay for it. Apparently, Snoop, at a high point, he apparently smoked 81 blunts a day.
No way.
So there's definitely a lot of rolling. So he's like, I don't need them. I don't have the time for this.
81. There's 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
He's probably awake for like 16. So how many was he having an hour?
No idea. Or maybe it's that a week. I mean, 81 does seem high.
He's having like 5 an hour. He's just ripping through them. More than 5.
Actually, I need to double check. That sounds awfully high.
He was awfully high. There's absolutely no.
Maybe it's for his mates as well. It's 81. Just keep rolling.
But it was for his mates, for everybody. There is actually a video online that I saw recently where he takes a puff and then he just passes around it to the security guard. Or maybe maybe it wasn't the security guard. Maybe it was his blunt roller.
You know what? If you've got enough, you just hand them around. You might take a drag of each one. But another point that I thought was quite a nice point actually is that an interesting thing is that how much does the blunt roller kind of earn? Apparently, it's about 40 to 50k just for rolling blunts. It's not really kind of confirmed, but that's a number that's been kind of
probably VIP backstage access.
Yeah. Might have a load of food included with that and stuff like that.
I reckon there's a lot of perks. Yeah.
But the great thing I like about Snoop is that he gave this person a pay rise due to inflation, and that's a great boss.
That is what you need from your boss.
So he's actually, he gave them a pay rise to meet the inflation rise, really. Not that like it's like 8%, here's 1%. I think he met the kind of all the requirements of how high it went up. He says, I'm going to match that to what inflation is.
I'm going to reward my staff.
Keep them motivated.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris? Like, who would you hire if you were rich?
Well, Tony, I think you've touched on some fantastic ones here. But, we can all see I'm a very stylish kind of guy. But I want to stay on top of that. So I think the first thing I'm going to bring in, Tony, is a personal shopper. Because I don't want to have to get out there, go shop. You can take my measurements, right? Take all of my measurements and just get out there and just fill up my wardrobe with something new every day.
Oh, right. So are you open to wearing anything?
I'll wear anything as long as it's cool. So it's fine. So then you need somebody who you can trust to bring you in the right kind of outfits all of the time. So, personal shop. That is definitely straight away tick. Because can you be bothered? Do you like it? Going out shopping all the time? Trying things on? Queuing up? No.
As long as you give them an idea. I mean, you're not saying that, this is what's hot on the catwalk, and we're getting exactly that. So you're wearing stuff that's quite
say surprise me. Let's just do something. If I have to wear meat or something like that, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Dress made out of toast. I've seen that's quite cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that for sure. And then I was thinking, I think we were talking about this before. Obviously, they mentioned somebody the other week emailed in mentioning sushi chef. I'd like to have a chef full time, with a wide range of different cuisines that they can cook. Cleaner, I think, is essential because you're going to have a big place by the time we've won the lottery. And possibly even a chauffeur. Do I need to use public transport anymore?
I can't even drive, so that'd be...
Do I want to drive? No, I want a chauffeur. And then I sort of thought to myself, well, hang on a minute. Why do I need to hire 4 different... I'll just get somebody who can do it all in one. They can live with me in this big place that I'm going to get. If we're giving them bed and board, do I really need to pay them? Possibly not. Okay. Just to make sure they don't leave the place, I'll take their passport away. What do you think? Does that sound all right?
Well, it sounds like, if I'm reading this right, I'm hearing you right, Chris, is that they're doing quite multiple jobs that you're saving. It's almost like what they call it economies of scale, that you're almost going to be paying next to nothing, really. I mean, that sounds pretty
legit.
Good. I mean, you're going to have someone that's going to tend to your every need, really. You're paying next to nothing.
Well, hang on. I mean, just those 4 specific roles.
Okay. I like the chef one because, the great thing about having a personal chef is that you can go, I have certain diet requirements. That I want really tasty food, but I also don't want to gain crazy amounts of weight. And the thing is that I don't mind eating healthy food if they make it really tasty and make it interesting. And they can do all that. You can even look at a menu like and keep it kind of interesting.
And I'll give them like 20-minute break once a day, 3 hours to sleep.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fantastic job. I think just somebody with a diverse skill set who can just do the whole thing. But the other thing I was thinking, Tony, and probably we need somebody else for this role. If we're going to get a big house, a big place to live, we need an interior designer. I definitely want an interior designer. And why not expand their remit a little bit? Art director. And the reason I say that, we've spoken about this before, I think art is something you can really not only enjoy in your own home, but you can invest in that and actually make a profit in the future. And I walked through Soho and down towards Covent Garden around 7 Dials yesterday.
Oh, very nice.
And I saw this art place, but on 7 Dials with some fantastic pieces. And there was a Jeff Koons, and Jeff Koons is the guy who does that balloon dog. Original in there. And I thought, I'd love to buy that. And when I win the lottery, I'm going to get that. And I reckon that would go up in price. It was Jeff Koons' original, small one, 7K. I reckon that will go up.
And you generally love you love the look of it, so
I do. Yeah. And it's man's best friend, yet again. Maybe an art director just to go out and procure those pieces for you, furnish the place, have it looking great. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I think I might touched on this like a while back, but tiles. Like, there's just figuring out there's so many different tiles and the ways that they can be placed, and if you can get someone to kind of make a short list of what are the ones that make sense and the different types. There's so many, really. Like,
I mean, to be honest, Tony, just call up Tops Tiles. They've got some great salespeople there.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I'm even looking at the fake ones because the real ones are too expensive. The ones that I want, the ones that you can stick on as a vinyl.
Hey, once we win the lottery, and that's the beauty of it, because if you've quit your job or whatever, you might as well just spend your time going looking for all this stuff. I think you spoke about that.
Just that is your day job, looking at various tiles in Italian marble.
But speaking of the day job, the last thing I was going to say, so let's say you don't want to quit your day job, but it's becoming a bit of a drag, right? You sort of want to get that extra income. Maybe you want to go in the office a couple of times a week because you get on with your colleagues, but there are certain parts of it that you just, not another Excel sheet. You can outsource your day job to someone else, potentially. Right, so while you're going off looking around the art galleries or looking at tiles in Bolivia or whatever, Italy, let's say, you've outsourced the key tasks from your day job to someone in a lower cost locale.
What, are you going to get someone to dress up like you and come to the office?
No. So you turn up when it's an office day, right?
Okay. When
you're working from home, you just outsource the key tasks that you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I believe some people do that already.
I think so.
Like, secretively.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Don't want Reddit all day and you just get someone to do.
Yeah.
Hey, why not? If you can get away with it. And you're kind of helping, you're giving the other person a job to do to earn money.
You're actually putting money into the global economy, which I think is a really noble thing.
Jobs just
clarify, I wouldn't do this. I'm just saying that some other people might.
Yeah.
I would never do that, but that's what I'm thinking. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think there's some interesting ideas there for if you did want to hire employees or staff to make your life easier because now you're a millionaire. I think most people would probably go with a cleaner and stuff like that. But hey,
I think AI is a big one. Can we leverage AI? Because we've seen it; it's advancing at a rapid rate of knots. I'd love to just get a robot in, like we were saying, and this robot. Okay, you probably don't trust it for the more creative things, but those kind of manual labour tasks of cleaning up, cleaning the toilet. Rubber dusting, maybe even ironing your clothes. That's what I really want from AI. out of anything is somebody to iron my clothes, a robot to iron my clothes. Surely that's coming soon.
How much would that cost? I mean, would it be cheaper than hiring actual staff, do you reckon?
Well, I mean, you could pioneer it and indeed, sell it on.
I suppose they'll never ask for a pay rise, and they'll always be up on time, and they'll always do it exactly to your needs.
Exactly.
And you won't need to scare them to stay.
No inflationary pay rises, like I said.
Great. So I guess we can move on to our segment 3, which is picking next week's numbers. So this is actually a perfect segue. We're talking about robots. So there was actually an article that I saw, was actually quite a sad one actually, and it happened in South Korea.
And now this is putting me off if it's going to be a sad story.
Yeah, you could be a victim if this is the case. So a man was crushed to death by a robot in South Korea. So, yeah. Apparently, this robot failed to differentiate him from the boxes of food it was handling, report said. So, the guy was in his 40s. It just says quite vague 40s. He was inspecting the robot. The robotic arm confusing the man for a box of vegetables. So, therefore, he was a box of vegetables and turned him into
so
vegetables.
It says.
Yeah.
I mean, this is scary. We were just talking about it. AI, obviously, it's going to change the world. It can be exciting.
Yeah.
But if this is the kind of thing that might happen, where the robot, I didn't realise it wasn't a cardboard box, just grabs it. And did you say it just crushed his face and chest?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like any accident to me, Tony.
Yeah, so push him against the conveyor, crush his face and chest. Okay, let's take a step back. This is a factory setting, so these robots are actually.
But it is a sentient robot, right?
It's a robot. As far, I don't know how sentient it is, but I'm sure when we get to the AI robot that you're talking about, hopefully it'll go like, oh, hello, Chris Master. Chris, I know who you are.
That's proper sentient robot.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I don't know if I believe you because. So it says the robot was responsible for lifting boxes of peppers and transferring them onto pallets. All very simple, right?
Yeah.
And also a gentle thing.
Yeah.
How does it go from lifting a light box of peppers and putting it on a pallet to crushing a man to death on the conveyor belt? Something's awry here, Tony.
Okay, I think you make a great point. Either this robot's gone rogue and just hates this man and murdered him, or someone's in the actual factory has programmed this robot to actually do that.
Oh, good point.
So, but all we know so far is that a man has died from being essentially killed by a robot. So he was in his 40s, and it's not very specific. It just says 40s, in his 40s. So
that's another thing that just makes me worry about this story. What are they not telling us? Quite clearly, quite a few things they're holding back from this one, Tony.
Yeah, so that's the number I'm going with, just 40.
40, yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I'm honestly lost for what. Yeah, forget it. That AI robot can sling its hook. I'm going for hired help, humans. But yeah, so Tony, the first number that jumped out at me this week was the number 18. And this is due to a tragic incident in 2018. And it's about a topic that we've covered on this podcast for a number of weeks. And essentially, a British couple have died at the hands of bedbugs, an inquest has found. So their room...
Did it get eaten to death?
Well, almost. Oh. Almost as bad as that. So essentially, this British couple went on holiday to Egypt on a package holiday. While they were there, the next door room, which was the connecting room, was sprayed with pesticide to kill off a bedbug infestation. Mm-hmm. And the poor couple ended up with carbon monoxide poisoning. So some of these pesticides have a little bit of carbon monoxide in there. And overnight they died. And how sad is that? So the bedbug, epidemic. It is just causing more and more problems. And this was all the way back in 2018. So I must admit, I actually saw this on the BBC, and the way they'd phrased the headline, they did make it sound like it was kind of a death caused by the bedbugs directly.
Yeah.
Today.
It's topical, isn't it?
It's topical, so it was the most read piece on there. So, but yeah, and I think, Tony, you saw in Hong Kong, they've actually been quite worried about it as well, haven't they?
Because I was just looking online, I was seeing, like, how far is this bedbug situation? How global is it? Because we know it was in France, and now it's going to come over the UK.
Madrid's been locked down. Yep.
Madrid, and now I think Hong Kong they're kind of using their kind of initiative, and they're just going like, look, we need to warn people about these things, and they're kind of distributing kind of leaflets to people that arrive to Hong Kong, just go, hey, look out, there's these bed bugs going around, and make sure you're looking at your luggage and where you put it, and hotel rooms and all sorts. But yeah, they're just trying to warn everyone about this bed bug infestation that's happening, and
in Europe.
The world's on its knees basically with these bed bugs.
Yeah. It is really shocking. And then there was a fantastic comment that you saw as well online about bed bugs.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I actually wanted to see how other people were feeling about this online, and there was one comment actually on the article. And if I read the comment verbatim, was bed bugs, like head lice, will always be with humanity, as they always have been. We seem to like stories of monsters coming to devour us, but in fact, humanity itself is more dangerous than any bed bug will ever be. Global warming, anyone?
That is brilliant. Yeah.
That had a quite profound effect on me when I actually read that comment, because it's true, bed bugs kind of already existed.
They've been around for donkey's years, and apparently they were kind of killed off after the Second World War. I don't know if we covered this before with with essentially this quite dangerous pesticide that was used a lot. But yeah, they've been with us for all of humanity, as he says, this or she is coming through online.
And all bed bugs want to do is just live and live their lives. And if their life is just sucking blood out of humans, I mean, can you really blame them? If that's how they've been kind of...
I don't hear people having a go at vampires in the same way. So why should we ever go at bed bugs?
They can make bed bugs sexy as like Twilight. They can make a movie out of it or something. I think that's what they need. They need like a Robert Pattinson to play a bed bug or something like that. Yeah. Actually, you just remind me a question about that. The article about the couple that died in the room. Did they manage to kill the bed bugs? Because there were some casualties. Something did die, but it'd be a shame if the bed bugs didn't die.
It was a bit like the story we said the other week where a couple swerved to avoid a tarantula, and that ended up injuring motorists behind. But the tarantula did walk free.
Yeah.
But in this instance, we hope the bed bugs were killed off. I mean, if it killed humans as a result,
there are casualties in war.
Yeah.
So
well,
the war on bed bugs.
Yeah. Hopefully. But yeah, I remember there's a few people like this commenter online who sort of go along that line, and they might well be right in basically saying, look, humanity, we're the ones who are waging war on each other. Bedbugs are just trying to live a peaceful life, a quiet life. But I remember in school, when I was back in school, we had this lesson where it was like, what would you put in room 101?
Yeah.
Milk out. I can't remember what I said, just silly little things.
Yeah.
And then this kid stepped up there and he said, humanity. I would throw humanity in room 101. And he came up with very compelling reasons as to why we should get rid of humanity. So maybe it's the same guy. I won't name him on the show. I haven't heard from him.
You just made a great point. Like, bed bugs are just sucking blood to live,
to sustain themselves.
Where humans and humanity are just spilling blood.
Yes, for no
real reason. Yeah.
Oh dear, Tony. Well, I guess depressing.
Yeah. So 18 is it? Yeah.
20. Number 18, yes, from 2018, which was when they were poisoned and sadly passed away.
So, for my next one is, if I said to you, The Throne, what do you immediately think of?
I think of the royal family sitting on the throne, or even maybe Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The Iron Throne.
So a throne is kind of like quite a majestic seat of some sort, very expensive.
I mean, I know your throne is your bathroom, your toilet.
Well, that's what some people call it, I'm just going on the throne.
Yeah. Wrecking the porcelain kind of thing.
Yeah. But what I'm learning is that thrones are, they're made of porcelain and white, or if you're in Japan, you get some fancy thrones, don't you? What kind of electronic and do all types of things, even warm the seat. But I came across an article where there was a throne, or a toilet, a gold toilet. So I haven't seen...
Is that in in Trump Towers?
No. I think golden showers happen in Trump Towers.
Yes, right.
But I have seen a golden toilet before, and that's not in real life. I saw it in that Harry Enfield and Chums. Remember they had a golden toilet in one of the sketches?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Was it the really kind of... the poor couple that were quite funny? They were like in the council estate, and they had the kids. And they actually won the lottery. Do you remember that? They won on the plane? Okay.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I need to watch that episode again. But this golden toilet was from an English palace, and it was worth $6 million.
Oh my goodness!
It's worth mils.
Yeah.
So if you've got a $6 million toilet, that's going to entice people. Yeah, people are going to entice it. They're going to see, it's a toilet, but I'm still on it.
And this was Blenheim Palace, which is I've been there.
Oh, you've been
Oxford.
there?
Yeah, I've been there. I never saw this toilet though.
Do you reckon it's open for the public? Just going, I need to use the loo. Oh, this is...
It looks like it is. Well, anyway.
So, so we've got 4 chances here saying like, let's try and nick this toilet. But luckily, they were stopped.
The thefts have been found.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
And they've been charged. So 4 men have been charged for trying to steal a $6 million toilet. Who can blame them? It's 18 karat gold. It might need a bit of cleaning though.
Yeah.
So, not everything you see. I never knew there was such a thing as a £4 million toilet. So, yeah, if you saw a toilet that was 4 million, wouldn't it be nice to just use it?
I would love to just sit on that. Yeah. It would kind of make it better. Say you have food poisoning or something.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you were sitting on a gold throne, I think it would make you feel a little bit better, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I would say...
Norovirus or something like that.
It would feel weird if you just kind of decimating the toilet.
Yeah, maybe you'd feel bad about it. Yeah. But, Tony, so it was gold. It was gilt, right? Gold.
Okay.
And would you say those 4 men were guilty?
Well, yeah. Yeah, there's a due process that happens. Law, we'll get to the bottom of this. Our English law system will make sure, again,
so they're alleged to be guilty.
Yeah,
you're right. 18 karat gold toilet, that's brilliant.
I mean...
That's what we can get. Once we won the lottery, and we'll have either the AI robot, if we trust it, or a human cleaner, keeping that polished and clean.
Yeah. It would be a bit of a tall story if they went... Because you could probably get away if it was just... one man who goes, I was just using the toilet. I didn't know. But if you saw 4 guys in the cubicle, you'd be like, what would they be up to?
Either a line of Charlie or some sort of sexual act. Or, I mean, who knows? Maybe it was one of those 2 things, and then the police said, I bet they were trying to steal the toilet.
You wouldn't have 4 plumbers working on one toilet, would you? You go, we heard that there was something wrong with this toilet. We need to take it apart.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the workshop and see if we can fix it. But yeah, golden toilet. So 4 men were charged. Well, I guess they're charged now. So I guess they did get proven that they...
Charged. It's not gone to law of court yet.
Okay, law of
a court of law. Okay. Sorry, court of law.
So 4 is the number.
So next one for me, Tony, is really another cautionary tale that we just need to be aware of. It's lottery related as well. And this is a lady from New Jersey in the United States who has come forward to speak about her experiences of winning the lottery twice. And I think we had last week on the show, there's actually the luckiest ever lottery winners who won it 3 times, thrice. But this lady won it twice within 6 months. That's even more impressive.
Lucky Americans. What's going on?
Lucky Americans. But guess what? She did this, I think, back in the 80s, won it twice within 6 months, only to blow the lot and end up penniless. She now lives in a trailer park. So this lady won the first jackpot, $3.9 million. And bear in mind, it was back in the 80s, I believe.
Oh, dear.
The second was $1.4 million. How bloody stupid do you have to be to blow all of that? Honestly. But anyway, got a quote that I think can, not inspire, but it's just, as I say, a cautionary tale for people. Everybody wanted my money. Everybody had their hand out. I never learned one simple word in the English language. No. I wish I had the chance to do it all over again. I'd be much smarter about it now. So, yeah, this lady, I mean, can you believe it? Lottery winner twice, 3.9 million, 1.4 million, and blew the lot. But I have to say, I think she did get caught up in gambling. So she.
I felt like there would be a slot machine somewhere with these Americans.
Yeah, there usually is. Atlantic City. And she thought she'd won the American dream, but I lost it too. She said it was a very hard fall. It's called rock bottom. So, just as I say, I touched on this earlier. I think it's about this whole thing of keep it private. You know, we've
discussed this.
Don't tell anybody, because as soon as you tell a couple of people, they just can't help it. They don't see the harm. And okay, maybe with your loved one, your closest loved ones, they're going to keep it quiet. But even then, it can be tempting. You tell your dad or your mum or whatever, and they tell your aunt or your uncle. And suddenly they don't see the harm. Your aunt tells your cousin tells your other cousin. Suddenly everybody's thinking, oh my goodness, God, the cost of living, energy prices going up. Oh, Chris, you got a couple of spare million.
Exactly. I mean, that's why you said we needed a spreadsheet.
Yes.
If you worked out, go, look, this is the limit I'm willing to give. And I'm really going to think about how am I going to divvy this up.
We'll get AI to do it. We'll get the AI robot. Just say, what do you think?
And then you go, who do I like the most? Who am I going to tell? All that type of stuff. So
this is what's exciting about AI. I mean, we are going to have these AI assistants, right?
Yeah.
Who are going to be able to understand everything about you.
Yeah.
And they're going to be objective, not subjective. So they can probably turn around and say, Tony, look, I know you think you like your second cousin.
Yeah.
But actually, they're just using you.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, listen, the person you should really value is your other cousin.
Yeah.
This is what I'm excited about. I think AI can help with all this.
I want to get to the point where you can literally plug yourself into AI and it can bring out all the bad traumatic memories that you had of this person, and then it will just show you again all these traumatic memories that you had, and you go, yeah, this is why you should give less money to this person. Just
say, look, AI, how much should I like this person?
Yeah. What
are the pros and cons? What have they done that's good? What have they done that's bad? They bring all those memories out.
Yeah, bring it all up, and then you can go and then show that person all the bad things they've done to you and go, that's why I'm not giving you the money. And they'll go, oh yeah, fair enough, actually, I was a bit of an ass.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be their response.
Yeah. And then they can use the AI to go, oh, these are the bad experiences I had of you. And then it might balance it out. You go, well, therefore I'm going to give you $1 million. But then, oh, fair enough, I was a bit of... okay, it was my fault. And then I'll give you 2.
Oh, but Tony, now I'm getting a bit worried. We're just going to be digging up the past again and again, if that's possible.
Yeah, it could put it in the chart and stuff.
Imagine your missus.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, don't you remember that time 2 years ago when you didn't take the bin out? Or whatever it is.
And AI could tell you.
AI will be like...
confirm.
AI will be like, yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right, you know.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Oh, right.
That's terrible.
It can work for you and against you. So
yeah. Well, that's why you've got to be smart with all of these new
technologies. But AI can actually... You can go, AI, can you reenact it to say that you did take it out and show them the video that it has been done? So deep fake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it'd be a game of who can be more creative.
But if you're having an argument with your partner, you can just get AI to intervene. Who's right? Who's in the right or the wrong?
Yeah. Who made the more compelling argument?
Yeah.
Let AI decide who won.
Yeah. But you've already pre-programmed the AI to agree with everything you ever say.
Oh, yeah. They wouldn't know.
This actually sounds awful, so we won't do any of that. But anyway, so that was the number 39 I've gone for there, because her first jackpot was 3.9 million. So
okay, so you merged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, another one that caught my eye, because we like to either confirm, debunk, or leave unsolved for people to stew over conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. And one that's just taken my eye, or caught my eye recently, is Nadine Dorries, who's the former cabinet minister. And Tony, say what you like about Nadine Dorries, but she made it to the highest office in the land. And I think to myself, if she can do that, there's hope for any of us. And that is really what I think about Nadine Dorries. But anyway, so she's written a book all about how Boris Johnson got taken down. You might know she's a big fan of Boris.
Oh, right.
And what she said in this book is there is a mysterious figure named Dr. No who is controlling British politics like a puppeteer, like a little master puppeteer, the Wizard of Oz kind of thing. And this guy is one part of the movement, and he's friends with Dominic Cummings, who I'm sure you know, and Michael Gove. And this guy once chopped up his ex-girlfriend's pet rabbit after she broke up with him, and sent the rabbit back to her, chopped up.
Sound like...
Apparently. This is all alleged by Nadine Dorries, who will let you make your own minds up on whether she's a reliable witness.
Was this person inspired by that movie? Was it the bunny boiler thing?
It does sound
the
like
rabbit
that,
thing really stands out. And where's James Bond in all this?
Well, that's the thing. So within the book, I haven't read the book and I haven't read too much about it, but apparently she's codenamed a lot of people with James Bond references, and then she said,
"Who's James Bond? Who's the equivalent of James Bond?" No.
Well, no, there's no Bond. I don't think there's a Bond himself, but it's all these different like Odd Job, Money Penny, whatever.
Right. She's a Bond fan.
MQ, and then I'm just thinking. She said, "Oh, we couldn't name Dr. No or a few others because they'd have delayed the publication of the book with injunctions or whatever." But then how come she named Dominic Cummings and I don't know. I don't know, but apparently this Dr. No is controlling British politics.
If you won the lottery, would you hire a private investigator to get to the bottom of this?
To the bottom of this, yeah. I would probably just hire a private investigator to follow Nadine Dorries around to figure out what the hell that woman gets up to day in, day out, and just try and understand what is going through her head.
Well, that'd be actually quite interesting, actually.
It would.
Okay, so that's what, number 10 for 10 Downing Street?
Yeah, so we've got number 10 Downing Street. This is Dr. No's apparently got a pass to Downing Street, and Dr. No just turns up whenever he wants.
What could this be? Is there anyone that stands out?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of coming from the basis of it probably isn't true at all, but it could be. And by the way, she said that Rishi Sunak doesn't do anything without asking Dr. No. And Dr. No has brought down David Cameron, who we've seen today is back.
Yeah.
He brought down...
Back from the dead.
All these other past Conservative Party leaders. But that's a good point. Nadine, can you explain this to us? If he brought down David Cameron, but yet Rishi Sunak doesn't do anything without talking to him, how come David Cameron's back today? Maybe it's just another crazy move by Dr. No, who just orchestrated.
Do you think Dr. No is a man or a woman?
Well, I guess the real Dr. No is a man, which would make sense that this would be a man. She could have said Money Penny or Pussy Galore.
Interesting, okay.
But anyway, we're just...
Number 10.
Like, if anybody has any information, do email us in.
Cool, I guess if the last number I've got is 23. So this is related to something that's big and hairy.
Excuse me?
So it's Bigfoot.
Right.
Okay, so apparently there's been discovered in Wales that there were kind of Bigfoot-sized prints, so 23 prints.
Size 23 footprints?
Yeah, so Bigfoot-sized feet, I guess.
That's even bigger than my feet.
And you know what they say about big feet?
I certainly do. Bigfoot.
Yeah, big feet, big shoes. And apparently Yeah, 23. I guess what Bigfoot footprints were found in Wales, and
well, it's size 23, isn't it? He's got
yes,
so these are prints found in the ground that are size 23 feet.
That's not normal, is it?
No.
What are you? 22.
22. Yeah.
Right. It's definitely not you. You've been in London all this time. You haven't been to Wales recently.
I haven't, but what I found notable, because it's in Wales, right? Caerphilly.
Yeah.
We covered that the other week when that kid went briefly blind, I think, and fireworks had been alleged to have been. So we said, did this kid set off the fire? He was messing around with fireworks, went blind. But the kid said, no, it wasn't me. Some random person
threw the white
or
firework.
Creature threw them into the tent. And now suddenly we find out that Bigfoot's been roaming around in Caerphilly, Wales, in the woods.
I mean, I personally didn't see it. You didn't see it, but apparently there's a Canadian Sasquatch research. They call it Sasquatches.
So Sasquatch, is that another name for Bigfoot?
I believe so.
Oh my God, who's coming up with this crap?
It sounds Canadian. It's something I can. It's something.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Jason Kenzie said, "This is his deep analysis."
Okay,
He's looked at. He goes, "It could possibly be a Sasquatch footprint because it's size 23, as you said." The toes are clear.
The toes are clear.
Based on the size alone, because it is size 23, it does look closer to an unknown creature than a typical human.
Well, that's settled then. Jason.
It's got to be. These are big feet. These has to be Sasquatch.
Has Jason got a degree in kind of Bigfoot research or anything like that? Sasquatch research?
I mean, it sounds authoritative to me. I mean, I don't know how many Sasquatch researchers you know, but this he's been cited in an article.
Yeah.
And we know that, what's the biggest feet apart from yours? 22. I mean, most people don't go above 20.
Other than me, I've never heard of anyone going above 12, have you? So it's 12.
No. I mean, no human would wear one of those. What's those running shoes that look like feet? Yeah, they almost look like gloves that you wear on your feet. And then they're like...
Oh, yeah.
Or someone could be wearing, I know, this is Halloween just gone by. I know we would have worn some kind of Sasquatch size.
It can't be that big. It can't be size 23. So there's something going on here. But what I am a little bit confused about is Bigfoot is from Canada, right?
Yeah.
Or he roams around, I think, in the north of the US as well.
Yeah.
Or however many there are. How the hell did Bigfoot end up in Caerphilly in Wales all of a sudden?
Well, you probably heard that it's a lower cost of living in Wales.
Ah, right.
So that's probably why.
Yeah, you're probably right there. How did he get on a plane?
That is a good question.
Mind you, if he's got such big feet, he probably just strode across the Atlantic.
He could swim.
Yeah, oh yeah, but he's a fantastic swimmer.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Okay, let's be honest. Do you actually believe that is a Bigfoot?
I'll be honest. My view on Bigfoot is it's probably not real, but, we don't want to debunk things without proof. There's no proof that Bigfoot exists, but is there any evidence to the contrary?
There is that video of the Bigfoot just like walking along.
What, from the Hendersons TV show in the 90s?
No, this is supposedly like out in the wild, and and people still can't tell if it's real or not, or if it's actually a man in a suit.
Oh, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'll try and dig it out. You could just type in Bigfoot sighting on YouTube or something.
But when you say Wales, I think there have been lots of other sightings of mysterious animals or things in Wales as well. So let's look into this a little bit. We don't write anything off unless we've got proof. We know for a fact now pretty much that Elvis is still alive. The Tupac, we're not sure. They've charged him with the murder. Bigfoot might be out there. And what is to have stopped Bigfoot, or however many there are, as we say, swimming across with his giant feet across the Atlantic? It'd probably only take him a few minutes.
I want to believe that Bigfoot's a real thing. And if it is, and if they do find a Bigfoot, I think we should breed it with a human woman and just create a new kind of type.
That might be dangerous for the woman. This guy's huge. I mean... If his feet are that big, how big are his
No, just do it like they do with horses and pigs.
IVF type. Yeah.
Just see what we get. We might get a superhuman.
Oh, but this could get dangerous very fast, Tony.
What, we've got AI and... Oh, we've got to worry about AI and other things.
Yeah. No, maybe you're right. Yeah. But are they all men? A Bigfoot or a Bigfoot?
There could be women.
Sasquatch.
You know what? If it is a female Sasquatch, then we might have to go the other way.
Would you? Let's be
science.
Would
for
you
science.
do it? Yeah.
I can, no. Well, you asked me, would I do it?
Yeah.
If I had to, I'd be honoured.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing this for science. I'd be cited in books.
You'd be honoured and you'd be something else beginning with H.
What's that?
Horny as hell.
Don't know about that. But again, we're saving this for maybe in the next few episodes. But one of the topics I just want to cover is how much would you pay for your name on a building? Because, when you get famous or you've done some incredible things, you get your name on the building. This might be the opportunity to get your name on the building. Science building.
Science building at Oxford University. Yeah, definitely. Or at the university you went to.
Yeah.
Tony Wynn. Yeah.
Sasquatch researcher.
Yeah.
Sasquatch scientist.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I just kind of go through what were the numbers in numerical order. So we had 4, 10, 18, 23, 39 and 40. So those are numbers I will be buying for this Saturday draw. Yeah. I mean,
this Bigfoot thing is kind of. I think we might be onto a winner here, because if Bigfoot has evaded, and by the way, it's not even as if you can say Bigfoot, he just blends in. You wouldn't notice him. So this Bigfoot must be damn smart to have evaded detection for this long.
That's a very great point. I think we've as humans we've kind of visited most parts of the Earth.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We've been to the centre of the Earth. We've been to all types, haven't we?
I
saw a movie that we went
to.
The
Earth is flat.
We saw a film.
It doesn't take that as long as they say.
Maybe
Bigfoot fell over the edge, and now he's come back again. We just don't know.
Bigfoot might have powers that we don't. Maybe has invisibility. We don't know.
Yeah, like Harry Potter style, invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
But do you remember that show, Tony? The Harry. What was it? Harry and the Hendersons.
The Hendersons. I know it was a Bigfoot that kind of lived with a family. Yeah. It's made in the 90s or something. There's loads of stuff that you're giving me a throwback of like shows.
I love those 90s. And I tell you what, we're going up to Christmas now. Yeah. It's going to be time for some 90s movies.
Home Alone's got to be done.
Home Alone is just brilliant. Oh, what about Chevy Chase? The
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's got to be done. I still love that speech he does when he doesn't get his bonus. Remember that?
Yeah.
Or like the cousin that comes along is classic.
He didn't get his Christmas bonus. Yeah. That was shocking. That's disgusting. Good. I can't believe when they don't do that.
Oh yeah, that's getting a bit close to home now, isn't it, Chris? But yeah, so those are numbers we'll be buying, and just remind everyone: subscribe, share, leave us a review. I'm sure. Be honest. I'm sure.
No, don't be honest.
Okay,
give us 5 stars. I think we got a 5-star review on Spotify at the moment. So.
Yeah, we've got 10 of them, I believe.
So yeah, keep giving us those, and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What else?
I think we need to get on Twitter or X. X.com.
Probably we need to get a Snapchat. Yeah, let's just get all of them.
Yeah, the
Telegram channel. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever they want to. Whatever they want to receive our content on. So I guess, we'll see you next week for when we try to win me
the lottery.
Ta-ra!
Ta-ra.